Thank you so much for being a part of our study. If I'm always smiling at the beginning of the videos, we do all these on one day, and in between time, Rudy and I talk about how miserable we are, how much we need God.
Yes.
So, Isaiah 41, start with verse 11. Yes, all who are incensed against you shall be ashamed and disgraced. Those who strive against you will be nothing and shall perish. You shall seek those who contend with you, but you shall not find them. Those who war against you shall be as nothing at all. For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, do not fear. I'll help you. I'm going to read a couple more verses.
Well, I like the do not fear. He's actually the only one that can say do not fear.
Right.
And
Think about how many times Jesus said, fear not. Keep going.
And really it's the same here. And then the next passage is be encouraged. Have courage from what I'm not in fear of.
Okay, let's read. Do not fear, you worm, Jacob, you insect, Israel.
You know, I've never really been able to translate what that means. It seems pretty bad, but I think it has to do with our smallness.
Right.
We're very small in the world as it is, but everybody's that smallness in the world to
Yeah.
God.
Right. So I just real quick, I remember reading through the woman who reached out and touched the hem of Jesus' garment.
Hallelujah.
I remember I was praying that one day, and I actually was on my face before God praying. And I said, you know, Lord, I am not worthy to even reach out and touch any part of your greatness and your grandeur. I really am a worm or an insect. God is above the circle of the earth. He is beyond all of creation. He is so great, and yet he humbles himself to let a guy like me, a worm or an insect, be his friend. And so I can hear his words, don't be afraid from that. I'll help you, says the Lord. The Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel.
Hallelujah.
And the Holy One of Israel stems all the way back to Isaiah's vision of God when he was in that time of meeting with him, chapter 6. He saw him with the seraphim saying, holy, 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 the thresholds of the temple shaking. Any rate.
The whole earth is full of your glory.
Absolutely. So now I'll make of you a threshing sledge, sharp, new, and you'll thresh them out, you'll crush them, you'll winnow them, your wind will carry them, and then you shall rejoice in the Lord. In the Holy One of Israel, you shall glory. Give us some thoughts there, Rudy.
Well, I think this is actually making a comment on the last phase of our lives, moving into the new heavens and earth, where heaven and earth touch.
Not yet. Not yet. Thank you. We just had customers coming in. Go for it, Rudy.
Well, like I was saying, this is a image of the resurrection,
Right.
and the new heavens and new earth. But prior to that, this threshing sledge, this hammer for the rest of the world, we are not the ones that defeat the enemy. Jesus is the one that defeats the enemy. But what we can do is speak words into the world, because that's how we're made in his image. His image that he showed us is that when he says something, it happens. Creation, everything is created by his word. In a very small way, we create with our words too.
Right.
So we should be speaking truth into the world. That's how we crush the evil.
You got it. You got it. Let's look at one more phrase. We had to take a minute for some customers coming to Frickin' Frag.
Kind of got us off track.
That's right. So Look at verse 17. When the poor and needy seek water, and there's none, and their tongue is parched with thirst, I, the Lord, will answer them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. Verse 20. So that all may see and know and consider and understand the hand of the Lord has done this. The Holy One of Israel created it. I want to touch on something to me that's, I think, is very much revealed in the Bible. And that is, God cares for the broken, the traditional, vulnerable people, the widow, the orphan, the immigrant, the poor. God cares for them. And as they are broken, God says, I'm going to reach for them. Why? Because it glorifies His name. That people will see the hand of the Lord has done this. And so, as Rudy cares for, I'm looking at one of his stools there, and there's a guy that's homeless who sits on that stool and eats food from frickin' frack every day. As Rudy reaches out to them, as he has cared for lots of people in that category, as people at Maywood do that, as we care for those who are in need, God is glorified because the hand of the Lord is working through us.
But you're blessed by it too. You know that you're being used, and
Yes.
sometimes just being used helps you make it through the day.
You got it. You got it. Hey, thanks for being a part today. We will see you tomorrow, and we're going to still have one more lesson, maybe two, you never know,
You
in
never
chapter 41. God bless you. Have a great day. Perfect. I had a thought for you. I don't know when you're going to need to open this place up earlier.
Actually, we don't have the staff. We lost 2 restaurants on the street yesterday.
You were telling me that. So you still, you have to work your current system. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. When you do, I was thinking we could put a couple of chairs over there in Miami Ice.
We could do it there easily.
Yeah.